All right, guys, welcome to our unique devotion special edition. Okay, so I got to 50 subscribers. We got to 50 subscribers. And though it's not about the numbers, for some reason I felt pulled to do something special. So this is what I'm going to do. I don't know how long this video is going to take because the topic is immense. But I want to give a little insight as to kind of where my heart lies, sort of why this channel even began with this one word, and give you a definition of something that you know, that you've felt, that has been a part of your life, and hopefully is a deeper part of your life today than it ever has been, and something that we all need to go deeper in, okay? And the topic is love. If you looked at the description, you already knew that. Love is the totality. Love is the reason for the Holy Bible. Love is the reason for God bringing himself into existence to die and bleed on a cross. It's the reason that Jesus bled. It's the reason that he broke the laws of nature, basically, and brought himself back to life, showed himself to others, blew their minds with this, and then encouraged them and gave them the love and passion that they needed to spread love throughout the world in a very interesting, deep, dynamic way. So I'm going to start with some of my notes. From time to time when I sit down, I have a little meditation bench that I built. I sit on that, and sometimes I just breathe. Sometimes I just need to stop taking stuff in, stop going. And sometimes I contemplate. I start to just sort of let things roll around in my head, and I contemplate mindfulness. Joyce Myers talks about mindfulness. Some other pastors talk about mindfulness, taking a topic and really thinking about it, studying it, thinking about it. What does it mean? Going deeper. And love is what we're going to do here. So I want to start just by reading some of the things that I wrote down, and then give you a little deeper insight, something that about love that you may not have thought of. There's so much to talk about. We could talk about what the Hebrew word for love is and how the Hebrew word can be broken down. We can talk about the word love in Greek and its dynamics. There actually is a really good video out there. If I can find it, well, I know where it's at. I'm going to try my best. I will put it down in the description box. It's another YouTube channel. They do a lot of Bible stories. It's really good at explaining that version, that side of love, which takes it even deeper. That's the key here. It's depth. There isn't just here's love, here's the definition, boom, you're done, you know it. Now every once in a while you're going to get a chance to feel it. It's no, here's love, and it goes on, and it goes on. All right, so now I've sort of explained myself, explained where we're going with this special edition. Love meditation. It's a noun. An intense feeling or deep affection. Strong affection for another arising out of a kinship or personal ties. Attraction based on sexual desire. Affection based on admiration, benevolence, or common admiration. Warm attachment, enthusiasm, or devotion. Unselfish, loyal concern for another. I like that one. Adoration of God, God's adoration of his creation. Love that one. Another note that I made on a different day. It is easy to reflect love when love is given. How well do we reflect love when love does not feel present? That's tricky. That's tough. That takes some trial and error. Here's another day, another reflection. Love who you are. This isn't just like love outward. This is, I like that, love outward. This is love inward. Love who you are. Find your breath. Be still and know that I am God. Not that I am God, I'm quoting. Be still and know that I am God with your thoughts. Be still and know that I am God with your words. Be still and know that I am God with your actions. Again, you go deep on that. I mean, you're spending your entire life. It's the depth of your lifespan, however long you're breathing, in your thoughts, your words, your actions. On another day, this was a simple one. I am loving, but I'm also not loving. In that session of sitting down, I had to admit to myself that yes, I want to love and I try really hard to love every day and I'm always finding new ways and new forms of showing love, but admitting to myself, admitting to the world around me that sometimes I do not love. That's hard. It's hard to really admit to yourself internally, really latch onto and move forward with. Here's another one. Love is being honest with yourself and others. Truthful, not manipulative. Here's the last one so far. Love upon love and grace upon grace. I'm going to say it one more time. Love upon love. More. Grace upon grace. More. Imagine them as being stacked over and over again, not as a singular, well, I love today, but as a recursive. That means it's reoccurring. It's over and over again. Like once you're done, you do it again, and then again, and then again. There's no real end. It's recursive. So those are some thoughts. Maybe something triggered there a little bit. Maybe something was like, oh yeah, I kind of see that. I get that, and that makes sense. Maybe something in there was like, Brandon, I don't understand where you're going with that. But that's okay. Maybe contemplate that in your meditation time or your prayer time. Maybe research one of those. That's the beauty of this video. You can rewind, re-listen to what I said, write down my words, go research it, and then either debunk me in the comments or give an example of your own. So here's what I'd like to do. This is sort of the pinnacle. I want to explain something. It's going to make this video a little bit longer, but I'm going to roll with it and try to shorten my thought process as much as possible. That's difficult. You guys know this. Taking a word, love. Now I just went through some things. It sort of probably expanded you in thinking about love in a little bit deeper way. Mostly things you already know. But here's how to take it in a really crazy deep way. What is the definition? The definition is an intense feeling of deep affection. That's the short definition. Just there it is. There's no depth. But is there? Now here's the tricky part. Words, every word in the human language, no matter what language it is by itself one idea of ideas. So the word love here is being explained through other words, through other short word ideas, and put all together to say an intense feeling of deep affection. but each one of them has a definition. As you read those definitions, you can take each of those words, break them into their definitions. It's almost an infinite, recursive process. It's kind of amazing. I think it's kind of neat. So we're going to take it one step, because I don't have enough battery power to do it infinitely. We're going to take it one step. I'm going to take that and break down each word, read it again, and you'll see what I mean. How to expand your idea of the word love in a very short way, but expanded nonetheless. So here it is. An intense feeling of deep affection. The word an. It's a determiner. It's a form of the indefinite article a. A dog. It tells you that there is one dog, that there is something there. It's not giving it a definition, but it's saying that there's an object of sorts. It was just a simple word. Intense. Of extreme force, degree, or strength. Feeling. An emotional state or reaction. The word of, expressing the relationship between a part and a whole. You kind of feel in your mind like the word of is just sort of a linking thing. It's just sort of in there. But it makes a deeper sense when you say that of is expressing. It's expressing. That little two-letter word is doing something. It's expressing the relationship between a part and a whole. Deep, extending far down from the top or surface. Think of like a chasm with no bottom. The Grand Canyon in its depth. A cave that just seems to, when you yell into it, echo forever. It's deep. There's so much to it. And affection. A gentle feeling of fondness or liking. Now that you've memorized all those definitions, let me read the definition of love back to you, and maybe it'll just impact you a little bit more of the importance and power of love. An intense feeling of deep affection. Hopefully you just felt a little bit like, oh, I feel goosebumpy right there. A little bit more like, wow, love. Whew. That was one level. We could take each one of the words in those definitions and break them down and really go even deeper into what love means. That brings me to my last two final thoughts. Matthew 22, verses 35 through 40, and Mark 12, verses 28 through 34. Because this is a biblical channel, we got to go biblical on you. Love God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. That is the first commandment that Jesus gives us. And that the second one is like it, like the first. Love your neighbor as you would yourself. I may actually make a love the neighbor as yourself video somewhere down the way. I have some ideas for that one to help out. We'll see what happens. Just a little foreshadowing. Okay. So knowing the definition that we just threw out there, really grasp that now. Next time you read those definitions, love should make a whole lot of more sense to you. It should really change your perspective just in a wider, broader sense. And one last point, which is somewhat historical. When Moses is talking to God, the Jews have this story back in their old ancient writings. It's not actually part of the Bible itself. The story of Moses and God is, but this story is an offshoot that's passed down verbally. It's actually written in a book, a whole series of books, but we're not going there. Moses is talking to God, and he says, well, what should I tell the people you are? Like, how should we as a people govern now? And he's looking for definitive step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 process, the 12-step process to forming a new country, to forming a new world, to forming a new path. And God says, love. Just love. Because God knows the full extent and depth of what love is. But he's like, Moses says, but when I go down and tell the people to just love, they're going to laugh at me. They're going to want more than that. They need more. So what can I do? Well, God contemplates for a moment, and he says, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to break down and give you the 10 commandments. I'm going to break love down into a 10-step process for you, and as long as you do this 10-step process, you'll get it. Now, the problem is, they don't quite get those 10 steps, so they end up making more laws and more laws. There's hundreds of these laws that ended up being written down that the Jews had to follow in order to show their importance and fall into God's love and grace. So they thought, but they missed the mark. They misunderstood. But God himself in that story is telling them how important love is. When Moses asks, what do I tell these people? What is the thing that we need to do in order to thrive in our lives? He says love, and we don't get it because we don't maybe take the time to contemplate it on a deeper level. I don't know. Maybe that's what this channel is about. I pointed that out at the beginning. This channel is really it's all about me going deep. It's really a way for me to express myself, to try to force myself to sit down and read scripture, to speak what I'm thinking out loud, to do exercises like this to go deeper, and hopefully it reaches a few of you. It's reached 50 of you so far. A large portion of you are blood-related family, and then there are a number of people on here who I've never met from different parts of the world, which is pretty amazing. And every once in a while, sometimes someone leaves comments, and we're all able to connect in love somehow on this YouTube thing that we couldn't otherwise do. It's a more worldly community, even broader than just a church-based inside a building community, which I love that kind of perspective and interaction. We go to a church, we go to a building, we worship there, we love that community. I find it fascinating that we live in a time where the possibility for this type of community exists, where it did not exist at one time. So I just threw a whole lot of stuff out there, but that's why this is special edition. This is really bombard you. All my other videos are really meant to kind of give you a little twinkling and give myself a little bit of a twinkling of something as we read scripture, to just slowly build bricks of God, to build a strong foundation, and to grow in love and faith and understanding alongside of God, deeper in that relationship. Love, an intense feeling of deep affection. Just going to leave it there. I know that God is giving you all the blessings you deserve, even more so, all the blessings you don't deserve. Till next time, have a wonderful day. Please like, please subscribe, comment if you wish. Please share this on all your social media. Bring your friends in on this. Show them what love is in a deeper way. And that's it. Peace out. I'll see you guys next time. We'll continue in 1 Corinthians. Love ya.